everybody, and welcome to the StarCityGames.com Invitational here in Baltimore. This is the first Invitational 2012. I'm Joey Pasco here with Brad Nelson.
Hello.
And we're going to do a deck tech. I'm channeling my inner BDM here. Brad, tell us about your deck that you brought.
It's not the most special thing on the world. It's just a variation of the Delver deck that Costa did well with, and that's been running really well lately. And I just made a couple updates for this tournament. I mean, one of the big changes that I made was I added Gut Shot, put it back in because I think like Mana Elves is going to be a big part of the metagame. Delver of Secrets, even Liliana, because of this Planeswalker deck. It's important sometimes not to get blown out by just having a Delver or a Stalker or a Geist in play when they Liliana and you have no other pressure to kill it. Just being able to actually take it out that turn can sometimes just swing a game. So Gut Shot's just better across the field than Dismember. And the most interesting thing about the deck is the sideboard that I'm playing. I've decided to go over the top in most matchups where I have a 20-second land and I have Sword Skull and some Dungeon Geist along with Timely Reinforcement to just like go over all the other aggressive decks, since most of my strategy is to Stalker a Sword. Well, that's not the most effective strategy post sideboard anymore, so I'm just trying to get a little bit bigger than everyone else.
Right. So you saw like last week we had Esper Control showing up, 2 of those I think in the top 8. So how do you feel the direction of the metagame does seem like there's more and more control decks showing up. So do you feel like you've got a good matchup against those?
That's actually really good for a deck like this. With Stalker and Equipment or Sword of War and Peace, it's really good against Lingering Souls. And Delver's always been good against Solar Flare decks. The big change is to, instead of playing Jace and trying to win the control matchup against Blue-Black that way, which was so effective there, it's not that good against Solar Flare. So I've added a Negate and I've added a Sword of Feast and Famine, an additional land. I still have the Purges and the Dissipates. That are all really good against curses or any threats that they really have. Right. So I think that Delver's really well positioned against the control metagame right now.
So what other decks are you expecting to see today?
I'm expecting a lot of Mana Elves and a lot of like Huntmaster's aggressive decks.
Okay.
I definitely think that Red-Green Beats is going to show up. I don't know about, I think Wolf Run might be a good deck for this metagame, but I don't know if anyone's going to pick up on it.
Now, which version of Wolf Run are you expecting to see more of? Because there's the traditional kind of red-green, and then
we've got Red-Green Ramp,
Wolf Run white.
Yeah, I think Red-Green Ramp. Just keep it straight. Like Ramp deck shouldn't get a lot of crazy ads on it. Like just play your Primeval Titans and win that way.
What decks are you afraid of? What don't you want to see?
The Mirror.
Yeah. Okay.
I've really like skimped on Mirror Match tech. Like I don't have any Revokes or Divine Offerings, and it's kind of a high variance matchup, so I don't really mind losing a couple sideboard slots in the matchup anyway. But I think I have enough for the red-green matchups, so I'm fine there. I don't mind zombies. I'm actually, happy to play this tournament. Blue-black might be my scariest matchup since I don't have the Jaces.
Okay. Anything else that you any particular card that you added that you really feel like maybe is gonna help you? Yeah, really gonna shine.
I think the Dungeon Geists are gonna be really good today.
Okay.
It's just a over-the-top spell. There's not a lot of answers because you're playing a hexproof, untargetable deck. So when you bring in such a powerful spell like that, they're not going to have answers for it. The red-green decks don't really run Dismember or Incinerate, and there's just not a lot of ways to deal with them. So I think this is going to be one of my biggest cards.
Awesome. Cool. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
And thanks a lot for sharing your tech with us. And,
see you guys.
We'll be back later on with more deck techs from the StarCityGames.com Invitational.